All right, fashion dolls, and we are back. We are back with our second interview of the day. That was such a great conversation. We talked about mental health with our girl Kizzy. Now we're about to get into our interview with actor and model Rockmeyer Devon. He is here, and you know him from hit shows such as Dynasty and so much more. So make sure you guys tune in, ladies and gentlemen. JL Allison, hey girl. Let's welcome our very special guest, Rockmeyer. Hello, welcome to the dollhouse.
What's going on? What's going on? Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Rockmeyer. So before we get into this interview, how has 2022? I know you caught wind to my previous conversation that I had with my guest, Kizzy. It was pretty deep. So how's 2022 been for you thus far? Because I know we've had some ups and downs with this pandemic, and now
Yeah.
we talked about it a few minutes ago. So how's it been for you so far?
2022 is a blessing. I mean, jeez. I mean, it's crazy that we're already in June well, we're in June basically. Memorial Day is what, this weekend? So things is moving fast. So much work is going on, just projects after projects and things like that. So I'm blessed. I can't complain, if I wanted to, we wouldn't do anything. So, but no, everything is great. Everything is great.
All right, all right. So let's get right into the swing of things. You were born in Kansas City, Missouri. So you a Southern boy.
Midwest, KCMO.
Right.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
tell us what was it like growing up in Kansas, Missouri? Did you always knew you wanted to be an actor?
That's a good question. Growing up in Kansas City, man, I tell a lot of people Kansas City is a very beautiful city. Um, a lot of good eating there, barbecue. That's what we pride ourselves on and things like that. But growing up there, I grew up in the inner city, so let's just be honest. I grew up in the hood of the hood, so it was a little rough and things like that. But just growing up, things was just this as it is. It's growing up, multiple siblings, you know what I mean, brothers and sisters all over the place. And just great though. I can't complain. Single parent, hey, I mean, I'm one of those kids, who grew up the statistics and things like that. So, but no, everything just growing up, it was good. It was good. I can't complain. Did I? And
And
also, did I want to know if I wanted to be an actor? No, not in a million years. I did not see this coming.
saying, wow, because
Yeah,
yeah, I went through some of your credits and you've got some credits. Like your
yeah,
portfolio of work is just amazing. And you're the middle oldest of how many siblings? 12? What is it
yeah.
like?
It's 12 of us. Predominantly on my dad's side, things like that. So multiple brothers and sisters. I got six sisters. We had three brothers, but a few passed unfortunately. Things like that. But yeah, just crazy. Always a lot of fun, a lot of interesting, a lot of personalities, arguing, all that good stuff. So just like, just siblings, man. Shoot, just growing us how it is.
All right. So you also studied business at the University of Missouri, Kansas City in 2006 for business. So what was that experience like for you?
Man, just studying business is crazy because when I first graduated, I was actually studying medicine. I was studying to be a orthopedic surgeon, and ended up getting into business shortly, like halfway through my college, halfway through college, and then I just switched over to business administration. Just being an entrepreneur, so I was like, well, I got to get the piece of paper, the bachelor's degree behind my name, and
Mhm.
things like that. But however, it's just like going to school at UMKC. It's a commuter city, University of Missouri, Kansas City. So just a commuter city, basically. So didn't have to go too far for school. Players Cap Alpha Psi, you know what I mean? So had to, represent and things like that. So those some of the things is, we did at UMKC and things like that.
Okay, okay. And you've also done some modeling as well too. So you're like the man of the jack of all trades. So I talk a lot about fashion on my platform. My guest that I had on yesterday has a show called Fashion Craze. So we know how the modeling world is. This experience for you during your modeling days, what was that experience like for you?
She's modeling. That's honestly that's how I really got into the acting and things like that. I was in Kansas City, in the Plaza, Country Club Plaza. If you ever get there, if you ever get a chance to visit Kansas City, you got to check out the Country Club Plaza. It's definitely a beautiful, beautiful place to go shopping, dining, entertainment, all that good stuff. So just coming out of a store one day, and this girl stopped me, and I thought she was joking. Really, she was like, "You ever thought about modeling?" And I was just like, nah, I never thought about it. So she just hands me a card and be like, well, we got these auditions, open auditions and things like that. And you should come through. And you wear the craziest thing, right? So I didn't know what to wear. I'm thinking like, I don't know. I just put on like my coolest outfit, right? And so I got a pair of jeans on, this super graphic Fat Farm shirt. That's when Fat Farm was in back then. And and for those who know fashion and runway and things like that, it's a T runway, right? So for those who don't know what a T runway is, it's just like a runway that's shaped like a T, basically. So typically you're supposed to just walk down, pose, turn around, come back up, pose, that's it. My goofy ass decides to walk down and go to this side and all the way back to that side, then stop in the middle and pose some more and go all the way back. And I thought I was doing everything right. So after that, and I could kind of see the faces. Everybody's like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean? So that basically, long story short, I ended up signing with that agency. I guess because of my boldness. I'm guessing. But it was like, "Yeah, you need some work. You need some work." So that's how it all started. That's how it all started, and from there, basically, ended up signing with an agent up there, and one of my first jobs was a print catalog job. Was a print catalog gig, and yeah, that's just where it all started. And then she just started sending me commercial auditions and bookings and things like that. And I didn't have a clue on what to do because honestly, Kansas City is not that type of city for entertainment, such as like modeling and runway commercial and things like that. So with that being said, that's just where it all predominantly started at. And probably 2010, I ended up doing a runway show for Ludacris and Michael Vick. It was one of the Super Bowl runway fashion shows in Texas, in Dallas at the time. And at that point, I was just like, well, shoot, I guess I'm serious. So, and I just started, and after that, just that type of exposure, I took myself a lot more serious and just pretty much went from there, basically. So that's how the modeling pretty much all started. And then the acting just kind of was like an added layer on top of that for the most part.
All right. Yes. And you move to, hey, now's the time. Hey, girl. Hey, Steph. How are you, girl? How are you? Now's the time. I'm doing wonderful. We are here with Rockmeyer discussing his acting career and so much more. Fast forward, we're going to talk about the acting because you've also done some directing as well too. So let's go down the list here. You got 19 minutes, Transporter, Learning the Hard Way 3, Tough Love, Atlanta, Behind Closed Doors, The Dream 2, Tasmanian Devil, Man, Murder Made Me Famous, Choices, Bails, Bonds, Daddy's Home, Get Hard, and we all know who stars in that one. Dallas, Salvation. Oh my goodness. Out of all of these list of film credits that I've named, which one holds a very special place to your heart?
Um, Dang, that's a good question. Hands down, it would be 19 minutes. It's a short that I wrote, produced, directed, and actually played in as well, based on true events. Based on true events with that show, and it's one of the things I haven't released it. It's funny I haven't released it yet. It's completed, but it's just one of those things. It's like it has so much sentimental value to me that this putting it out there, I would feel like vulnerability and things like that would be heightened. So, but it would be 19 minutes. It's based on true events of a jealous girlfriend, and it ends up killing someone and things like that. And the things they just ended up letting her go, no type of investigation type stuff. So it was a wild turn of events that all transpired within 19 minutes, that no one knows about but the two people who's involved. So it would be, yeah, that would be the one that holds dearest to my heart for the most part, for sure.
How do you find that balance between being a director and an actor?
It's actually pretty easy to a certain extent, because working behind the camera, and I've been now moving to Atlanta. I've been a lot more behind the camera with Silk White Productions and things like that, and seeing it from like a directing and AD standpoint, it's like you see the whole playing field from a different lens in real life. So then when you transition it back in front of the camera, it makes it a little bit more easier, because you're kind of typically still in director mode, or assistant director mode and things like that. So it's been a time, actually probably about a few months ago. I did a commercial. I did a MailChimp commercial, and been on commercial. Well, we was on set for about 10 hours almost, and then I had to leave that set for being in front of the camera to going to do Learning the Hard Way 3, the Transporter, which was just released on Tubi not too long ago, most popular, all that good stuff. But then went and worked behind the camera for another 10 hours. So that easily turned into, well, not 10 hours, probably I think around 8 to 10 hours. So that turned into like an 18, almost 20-hour day, from in front of the camera
Wow.
to behind the camera and things like that. So just kind of finding that transition, and just balancing out the transitions is what's the important part of that. So
How do you, because you just heard some of the conversation that me and Kizzy had. How do you, because I know my strength as a black woman, as a woman.
mhm.
When black women, when we walk into the room, it's like a certain aura, it's our strength. My question for you is, how do you define your strength as a black man? Because you do it all. You're a family man, you're a producer, you're an actor, director, you do it all. And my hat goes off to you. You are amazing at what you do. That's why I welcomed you here into the dollhouse. So how do you define your strength as a black?
This really just knowing my purpose, basically. When you know your purpose, it's like can't nothing really stop you in real life. Like no matter what comes at you, the devil's always gonna be busy. The devil has no days off. You know what I mean? So just trusting in God, knowing my purpose, and just really protecting my energy protecting my energy is pretty key. So just kind of operating like that, being able to see, a lot of, as the world we live in today is it's so wild and crazy. You know what I mean? So just really protecting my energy, knowing who I am, and just shit. When you go through some things, your confidence unconsciously either going to do two things. Your confidence is either going to continue to grow and get higher, or your confidence and self-esteem may just kind of, plummet and sink. So for me, by the grace of God, my confidence always has grew. So with that being said, just like not mistaking it for cockiness or anything like that. And I hate to say this, but I don't hate to say it, but a lot of people like to, I don't believe in humbleness to a certain extent. And I say that respectfully though, because to be humble means to lower yourself in rank. And I look at it like, why would I lower myself? You know what I mean? Especially, and why would you lower, why would we have to lower ourselves especially when you go through a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? Or you worked your ass off to get to where you at, to build your credits, to be the person you are, to be the woman you are, or be the man you are, and just things like that. Like, so just keeping your head up, and like just just really stepping into, you know, your being is what it's about, basically. So that's how I'm able to really, I guess, say hold my own as a man, and really just believe in myself, because if I don't believe in me, ain't nobody else going to do it. So, and people will pick up on that real quickly.
And I love what you just said, which is, you put God first in everything that you do. Me and Kizzy was just talking about that, and she said, I put God first every morning when I get up, and I was telling her also, I do my prayer journal, my meditation, and everything. I put God first in everything. And my mom, she always told me this. She said, "Don't get so big in this industry. Don't allow this industry to get so, get you so clouded that you forget that God is the one who put you here. Just as sure as He put you where you're at, He can take you right back down." So it's sort of like, okay, God's got your red wagon at the end of the day. So never forget that He's the one who helped you and opened doors for you. It's one of my scriptures that talks about, God being able to close the door for a reason and allowing a new door to open. And that's how I see it. I've had doors and no's. This, you get where I'm going with this. I've had doors closed in my face and I've been told no. So for you, what is your power of the word no?
Oh, that's a good question. Like, no is really, I look at a lot of no's. I'm glad you asked that, because honestly, your no's is just as important as your yeses, if not more important, dang there. So being in our field, in this industry, we get hit with no's. Probably, I lost count. And I just look at it like, a lot of it, to me personally, how I process it is timing. You know, getting that no, not having that door to open, for me, it's just not my time. You know, and I'm glad that those no's happen and I get those no's, because I wouldn't be like, if I'd have got if these doors that's opening now opened probably 2.5, 3 years ago, I wouldn't have been ready, and I would have fumbled it. I would have fumbled the entire bag. So just really understanding the power of no and where you're at within your season.
Absolutely. And I was watching TED Talks, and there's a man by the name of Dennis, and he was speaking about how he pitched something to, I think it was a pharmaceutical company or one of these big tech companies out here. And he said, "I've been told no. But you know what? I took this no as no, not right now." But the next time he went and he tried to do that pitch again, and they gave it to him. So
Mm,
sometimes a no can be a blessing in disguise. You never know. So for me, I've been told no. I've had people say, ask people to come on my platform, and they told me no. And then when they see the outcome of it, the opportunity,
mm,
I had an opportunity from someone else messaging me saying, "You know what? I would love to interview with her. I would love to sit down with her." Misconception is what kills us. So I agree with what Mr. underscore LJB just said, which is no, not right now. Exactly. My mom even told me
that,
that too. She says, because my mom, she'd be like, "You sure you want to take a break?" And I'd be like, "Taking a break?" A break, me being my sarcastic self, because when I first started, I was very, very young. But my mom is my biggest supporter, and I take advice from her. It's always good to get advice from your parents, your elders, the ones who've been doing this. And
definitely.
I'm so thankful to have that support circle. So the next part of the conversation I'm going with you is, how important is that support circle for you?
Ooh, support, man. Support is everything. Support is everything. And your circle, my circle is everything as well, she's like family, friends, and it's crazy because it's a lot of people who you think that's your friend, that you realize who you've been holding real close to you, and it feels like you kind of you know that put out more, as far as pulling them, keeping them close, always reaching out to these people or that person and things like that. But at the same time, it's not reciprocated. So I just say that to say is that, like, really being conscious of my circle, everybody you keep around, because that's that energy. And energy is definitely magnetic and things like that. So it can definitely transfer and all that good stuff. But as the saying goes, what birds of a feather flock together. So like if you're surrounded around goodness and greatness, you know what I mean, then you have no choice, honestly, but to be great. Or you ever notice like um I've noticed sometimes like your energy within your circle or with you can really it can make people have to step up to the plate and match it and really bring it basically. And I said to say that some people just can't handle it and things like that, and they kind of fumble it and they just kind of fall off. You'd be like, dang, I ain't talked to such and such in like God knows how long. You know what I mean? And you reach out to them, they ain't doing us the same thing. You kind of it's just like you realize that you're still moving forward. You know, so really keeping your circle and that support system is everything. How Jay-Z said, you know, he said, Hove, it's not many of us. I said, less is more. It's plenty of us. That's one of my favorite sayings, definitely.
And Kizzy is back with us. She's in the comments. She said, absolutely. And hey, Sir Melly, how have you been? It's been a minute. You've always did a great job broadcasting from the time I know you. Thank you so much. And yeah, look at me now. The growth has changed so much. We got a question for you. Where does your greatness most shine, and how have you used it to touch people's lives?
That's a good question. Good question. Jeez. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. I've always believed in relationship with God. That's what I, you know, always pride myself on and pray that it continues to be strengthened. You know what I mean? And that connection don't break. So, my prayer every single day is I don't really ask God for anything to a certain extent, you know. My main prayer is for God to continue to bless me. And I tell anybody this, like always, instead of asking for God to bless you, pray or to bless you with all these things and stuff like that. Just be like, Lord, bless me or continue to bless me to be a blessing to others. Bless me to be a blessing to others. And you will forever find your cup runneth over in real life. And because of that, I don't go without, and I've just been blessed. I mean, yeah, I mean, every day may not be how John Joe said. Every day may not be Chanel bags and things like that, but but when that faucet's on, oh yeah, we popping Chanel every day, you know. So basically, in real life, no, I just pray to God just bless me to continue to be a blessing. It ain't even got to be financially, you know what I mean? I mean, I like money. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like money is honestly just a bonus of life, you know, because when we stop breathing and we gone, that money is still gonna be sitting in your bank, or then or whoever gonna start fighting over it or whatever is gonna happen after that. But I just say that to say like money is just a blessing of life. That's why I see a lot of people flexing and things like that. I don't even give into it because like it's really not, because a lot of times we can still be empty on the inside. We all these, you know, all this glitter and gold around us, we can still be struggling inside internally. But I believe in helping people out, you know, in so many ways, and I'm just blessed to be in that position to be able to, you know, be a blessing with my labor, my actions, my words, my encouragement, financially if I have it, and things like that. So yeah, definitely that's a really good question.
Absolutely. It's not about the material. Yes, people look at we're on IG, so we know it's like people can create a false illusion. It's like, and I said this before, it's like makeup. We can cover and we can seal and we can enhance. That's basically what Instagram does, you know, presenting yourself in a different
Yeah.
light to everybody. And then once you
Hmm.
take it off stage, it's just like, okay, it's me again. I'm
Hmm.
back to it's that self-reflection. So you guys are coming in so fast with the comments. Let me see. What is your essential in your daily living?
What is my essential in my daily living? That's a good question. I think I kind of understand the question, but okay. So my ritual is wake up, I read the word in real life. I went, okay, I got the little Bible app on my phone. I mean, who don't got the Bible app on their phone? But I got the Bible app on my phone. I definitely be keeping track. I read the scriptures and words, and I take it in. Though I don't just read it and just whatever, but I take it in. I am going on a roll of over 123 weeks now, every single day reading the word. You know what I mean? So waking up, reading the word. Funny thing is, my day starts at like 4 a.m. I get up, brush my teeth, throw on some clothes, go downstairs, make some coffee, then I go straight to the gym. The gym is that's my zen room for you know, whether if it's just working out with weights or just on the treadmill if it's not raining outside as it is right now here in the A. But honestly though, what I really love though for my daily essential is I take long walks and I just meditate and I talk to God. Real life. Meditate, just hearing the birds chirping. A lot of times I go to the Pace Mills Park. I think it's the Chattahoochee River. They got the river walk thing right there. Or I may just get out in my neighborhood, go walking, but I literally go on walks and I probably walk on average. And this is just walking, not even including running, because if I put in the running, then, you know, I'm probably doing, you know, probably 20 miles. I'm capping right now, but if I go running, but I primarily walk daily, talk to God, you know what I mean, and just really release. And then let's see, outside of that, I'm not a big, I probably eat like once a day, once and a half, probably, you know, no more than 2 times a day. Because I feel like if I'm not doing anything, I don't want to be sitting there just full on the couch, not burning no calories, is, you know, getting out of shape and things like that. So I probably eat once a day, but when I do eat, I'm not a big meat eater. I was a vegan for about 2.5 years. I don't even like to say the word vegan. I say plant-based. But yeah, I was plant-based for about 2.5 years, and things like that. And as I transitioned back out of it, I then became pescatarian. I did a blood type lifestyle diet. If you ever get a chance, if you know your blood type, you can Google it. And I'm AB positive, so being AB positive, believe it or not, like a lot of meats is not conducive for my blood type, such as like chicken, cured meats such as barbecue, deli meats and things like that. And I love that type of food though. You know what I mean? So just kind of weeding that out. And it's funny because now I can tell the difference when I do eat it. Like I become inflamed and things like that. So have to be very conscious of what I eat. And plus our bodies especially in our industry, is our products basically. You know, so if I'm just, your body you put in, you get out what you put in. You put in junk, drugs, you know, whatever, alcohol every day, cigarettes, all that good stuff, whatever it is, your body is going to reproduce that. So.
Absolutely. And wait a minute, I skipped something. Kizzy says yes, walking is very therapeutic. Yeah, she just said that. She was saying exercise. We were talking about when it pertains to mental health, finding that outlet,
Mm-hmm.
and exercise is one of those. Um, Liz wants to know, what do you think of the most? What do you think of the most of these and why? Laughter, tears, rain, and touch.
Ooh, that sounds like the love languages, is it? Almost. um, I start with laughter. As you can see, I'm always smiling. Um, laughter is laughter is very important. Smiling is very important. A lot of people don't. It's funny how our bodies are. Whenever we smile and we laugh, our bodies unconsciously releases endorphins.
Yeah,
It releases endorphins. So whatever, it's like a mood picker upper, I guess, if that's a phrase. But laughter, tears. I think the other one was touch and rain. I love laughter of all things. I'm not a real. I've been through the rain. I've been through that storm, so it was definitely a dark period. I kind of avoid that part, but honestly, rain is needed though, because those challenging periods in your life is needed because it really helps mold and shape who you are. You ever notice bodybuilders or people who go to the gym? They just don't go to the gym and pick up the lightest weight. You'll see a dude on there with like probably, 245 plates on each end trying to push up. He got a spotter and things like that, because until you really don't know how far you can go or how much you can lift until you're pushed. So we need it. It's the things, it hurts being uncomfortable. No one wants to be uncomfortable, but sometimes, and Beyonce said, in order to achieve how her results that she achieved, I'm just kind of paraphrasing, she said she had to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So yeah.
What is the most realistic part of your life journey thus far?
The most realistic part, she got some good questions. Most realistic part of my journey so far is, you know what it is? It's gonna sound weird, but it's really just me time. As a grown man, just me time. I used to be all over the place, just loaning myself out over here, loaning myself out over there, and still at the same time taking on so much luggage, to where, like, I just hit a dark period, and I had no choice. God had no choice but to be like, Negro, you about to sit your butt still, and you about to just, I'm gonna need you to sit still for a little bit. And the moment I sit still, it allowed me to reflect so much on my journey in general. So just really just me time is what really probably been the most beneficial, at least for the last 2.5, 3 years, is really understanding the importance of pouring into myself. Tyler Perry said it a lot too. He was like, man, he's like, I'm going to paraphrase it. It's no use of really trying to water 3 or 4 plants, because all you're doing is giving 25% here, 25% there, 25% there, and 25% there. But if you take all that water and just pour it into one plant, so now you're pouring 100% into you, to where now you are balanced at 100%, and now you have the strength to be able to go and do what God called you to do. So
That purpose.
yeah.
That purpose. And we're all destined for that purpose. When God gives us a purpose out here, go for it. Go for your passions, your heart's desires. I didn't know I always wanted to be, you know, a talk show hostess. And another question for you is, what do you love about you?
Yeah, what do I love about me? You see all this twist is still a sex appeal? Play with me. No, I'm just playing. What do I love about me, honestly, is that's the kooky side of myself that kind of comes. I have like little moments, if you don't have those little outburst moments, I don't think you really are human. But let's see. The most part I love about me is honestly just being balanced. Just balance. Balance is everything for me. Now I can't speak for anybody, and this kind of sounds boring, minute, you know what I mean? But just really being balanced. I had to get therapy. Just being honest, I had to get therapy, see a therapist to unload a lot of baggage. And as men, I encourage a lot of men and people in our culture, seeing a therapist and things like that is kind of frowned upon. Like, oh, you don't need that. It's a shrink and whatever. That's crazy. That is shenanigans, and it's crazy. And I kind of had that mentality for a while. You know what I mean? But just really just going to get, see a specialist to kind of unpack, which helped. Oh my God, this relieved so much. It was like a weight was off from the very first day. It was like a weight was lifted, and it allowed me to really get back to being balanced. At the end of the day, it allowed me to get back to being balanced. So, yeah.
It's so scary that you're saying that, because me and Kizzy just not too long ago got through talking about, therapy, and us as people of color needing to normalize it. Because
Mm-hmm.
in our community, we've been taught that, oh, you just got to sweep it up under the rug. You know, just like God, listen, God has put the resources out here for us. Take advantage of those resources. Get help, get therapy, or else you become, I forgot to mention his name when me and Kizzy did our interview, Jimi Hendrix. You become Phyllis Hyman. You become Prince. You become Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson. You become anybody who is in the limelight, like we're in the limelight. And You become so alienated, you lose sight of who you are. Get help. It's okay to get therapy. There's nothing wrong with going to sit on the couch with Dr. Phil at all. Let's normalize it. And for you, Rockmeyer, as a black man, I commend you 100%. I don't know if you've seen my lineup just last week. Um, the week before, it was all black men, and I did that intentionally. I know people were like, "Well, why is she interviewing all men this week? There's no women." No, I wanted to be the Iala in this moment. Okay, so I wanted to
Thank you.
kind of get an insight on black men and mental health, and I didn't even ask. They just detail, and they said the same
Yeah.
thing that you're seeing, from Renaissance to Choice to every actor that I've had on my platform, every guy that I've interviewed with, they've said black men need to start opening up about mental health. And for my ladies on our end, it's easy for us to open up about trauma and so many different things. Open up and talk about it. I see a therapist
Agreed. Yeah.
twice a week, and I praise for speak. Yeah, some black men don't, and in the black community in general, it's both sides, black men and black women. We have
Yeah.
been programmed that what goes on in this house stays in this house. We
Yeah.
don't want to go out and talk about it. Especially if you are a PK, you've been brought up in the church. Me, I was brought up in the church, South Carolina.
Same here.
That's a whole different story. Now, I you see how I kind of turned out a little bit of a bad girl now. So, but listen, it means that we're human. We all go through this, and you're seeing singers, rappers. Um, Kizzy just mentioned Kevin Gates and how open and transparent he
Yes.
was with mental health. Lil Wayne, even the most controversial, Kodak Black. So many black men that are hip hop artists, Big Sean, are opening up and talking about mental health. And it's like the cycle. Thank
Yeah.
God. The cycle is done.
And I think what it is too, to kind of piggyback on that, is because, woo, we about to open up a whole can of worms, but that should be a whole segment by itself. But as black men, especially growing up in the hood, and every city has a, you know, and this is what it is. As black men growing up in the hood, especially single parent families, you know, your mom's raising you, and a woman can't a woman can't raise a man to be a man. It takes a man to raise a man, because we have certain things that we need, especially once we hit a certain age. So I say that to say is like, it's like when we grow up, especially growing up in those type of environments, like you said, it's frowned upon. It's looked at as weakness. It makes you vulnerable in real life, because once they realize, like, shit, just not only just that, but just being emotional. We're technically supposed to be emotional beings. We're men, you know what I mean? But we're told and we're taught and we're groomed to subdue and submerge all those feelings and characteristics and things like that. And it's wrong. It is completely wrong, because then you realize, shit, you have, I'm gonna be honest, like, you want a lot of women who got boyfriends and mans and things like that, they wonder why they do. Probably if he's sitting in the house, is playing the video games all day, watching TV, probably smoking weed, drinking, trust me, it's a 90% chance he is battling a mental illness. Period. If he's just in the house, don't want to do nothing, don't want to go out, and going out ain't gotta be the club, but just getting out, going to TJ Maxx, for example. I used to be that dude. Like, my wife, you want to go to TJ Maxx? No, I don't want to go to TJ Maxx. You want to, let's go to Target. No, I want to go to Target. I just want to just relax. You know what I mean? But I didn't realize that I was battling depression, anxiety, and things like that. And it's a lot of men that's going through that really don't know that they're going through it, because it ain't been that. It's like a ticket. It's like a lottery ticket. It hasn't been scratched. That surface hasn't been scratched. And it creates a lot of imbalances in relationships and in marriages as well. And a lot of times the guy either explodes or he shuts down. I was the one, I shut down. I was just quiet. A lot of guys turn to drugs or turn to alcoholism and things like that. But no, in real life, at the end of the day, we are supposed to be emotional. And it's funny because I had homegirls that be like, I I ain't gonna say my homeboy name, but he had both parents in his house. You know what I mean? Both mom and dad. They were married, still married to this day. And he was in touch with himself as being emotional, as being able to vocalize how he feels, his emotions and things like that. And and because of that, and because of that, she was like, oh, he's just too emotional for me. That was her complaint. He was a stand-up guy. He was handsome, had a really great job. You know, he's he might be not thinking he's a fire captain now. You know what I mean? He's a real stand-up guy. You know, but anyway, he was just too emotional for her. I guess. But the funny thing is, the previous relationship she had was an abusive relationship. So a lot of times, as men and as women, we can go into a self-sabotage mode because of our
Yeah,
underlying issues that hasn't been addressed. So because of that, yeah, getting help, talking to a therapist or a counselor or a professional is nothing wrong with it. I 1000% encourage it. You know, I definitely encourage it. It's needed within our community.
absolutely, 100%. And I got another question for you from Liz. She wants to know. She says, intimacy is a tricky thing. How do you find the intimacy in your craft?
Uh, it's good. Well, that's the beauty because being able to really just tapping into character, understanding the assignment, is really understanding the assignment. And I believe that's where the benefit of being able to be on both sides of the camera, whether, you know, directing or assistant director, even running sound. I've been PAs. I pretty much did it all, with the exception of script supervising, but that's my next bucket list. But being able to work behind the scenes gives you that whole outlook. You get a bigger lens of the whole field. So it makes it easier when you transition back in front of the camera, when you get those lines, you get those scripts, is to instantly know what's going on. Knowing, being able to understand the vision of the creator of the project and things like that. So once you understand that, especially if it's something that you can relate to as your regular self, as your or as who you are, if you can relate to it, just makes it that much more easier. So um and once you get that yes, you know, because you can get a ton of no's, and once you just take one yes, and once you get that one yes, man, you gotta blow it up, and that's when you just gotta fall in love with the role, with the character, you know, and with the entire team, because all those things play a part. So that's yeah.
All right. All right, Fashion Dolls, it is time for our games with Rockmeyer. The first one is going to be called the Rapid Five. And Rockmeyer, he has to tell me five things that he can't live without. But before we jump to that, we got one more question. What is non negotiable in any type of relationship for you?
Abuse.
Mm,
Abuse, period. You ain't got men and women. It's abusive. Men that have verbal and physical. It's unacceptable. It's sick. Um, it's funny. I've been through it before, as you know, in relationships. You know, as being on the receiving end of abuse and things like that. So, but yeah, it's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So yeah.
absolutely. And it comes in different forms. It's verbal, physical, and emotional. It's definitely different forms. So that cycle
Mm-hmm.
must be broken. Cycle. All right. We're going to get into our games with Rockmeyer. The first one is called the Rapid Five, and he has to give us five things that he can't live without. And then the next one is going to be called Turn the Tables. And this is where I cut the velvet rope and I allow my guests to ask me some questions. I'm so nervous. My heart always beats when I get into this segment because they can ask as many questions as they want to, uncensored and unfiltered, and I have no idea what he's going to ask me. So we're going to start off with the rapid five. What are five things that Rockmeyer can't live without?
All right, five things: God, my family, Snickers. I love Snickers. Um, Exercising and tacos.
Okay.
Taco. Yeah. I love tacos. I feel like I swear to God, I may be black, but I swear I think my origins. I gotta be like Hispanic or something, basically, because I can eat right. Let me stop. Let me stop. But I love some tacos. Period. Anything Mexican food, I tears it up. Let's go.
All right, Fashion Dolls, that is his top five things that he can't live without. All right, so we're going to go to the turn the tables. And this is where my guests get to ask me questions uncensored and unfiltered. I have no idea what he's going to ask me. They get to ask as many as they want to. So take it away.
So it's my turn to ask you questions. All
Mm-hmm.
right, cool, 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 cool. So how? What's your favorite part about? What's your favorite part about every interview?
I love asking people how they're doing, and I feel like that's the way, just how they say, a smile, it can brighten up someone's day. My favorite would have to be the beginning, asking someone how they're doing. They could be going through something, and just coming in with a smile or hello can kind of brighten their day. And we need it more than ever. People need hope, and if I can offer that, I've done my job.
If you can change one thing about the world, what would you change?
Ooh,
I'm glad you didn't ask
yeah.
me that question.
Um, it would be equality for all. It would be equality for all, mainly people of color. We've been through so much throughout these past few years, from 2020 to 2021, and it seems like the roller coaster is never ending. So it would be equality for everyone, equal rights for everyone. That's what I would want to continue to change the world.
Nice, nice. I agree. I agree because it's definitely man. Our culture in general, far you already know, goodness and stuff we've been through and continue to go through. So yeah, um, crazy. This is crazy. Favorite candy.
Everyone knows this. Uh, I love Oreos, cookies and cream. I know it doesn't count. Ice cream, that is my go-to. That is
Yeah.
my weakness. So
Favorite ice cream.
that is
Favorite
my
ice
favorite.
cream. Favorite ice cream.
Cookies and cream. Cookies and cream.
Um, so cookies and cream used to be my favorite back in the day, but then I switched over to Soho, which is a non-dairy ice cream, and it's called salted caramel. So is it caramel or caramel? I'm from the hood. I
Yeah.
say caramel,
Mhm.
but so it's salted caramel fire. You gotta try it out. But anyway, all right. If you could bring back, okay, what's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant. We have one down here because I'm in South Carolina called Aunt Lee's Barbecue, and that is my favorite. I love the skins. My mom loves the skins, and she gets her dipping sauce, which is like a gold-based barbecue sauce. It's a southern thing down here,
Mm,
so that one would have to be my favorite. And then there's another one called Bitty Quick, which is like if you like hamburgers, French fries, things like that, like from the 1950s, how they used to do it with the diners and things. They have that, so that's another one of my favorites.
nice. All right, final question. If you could, all right, if you could live in any time period, what time period would you live in and why?
I would have to say I would have to say the 90s, even though I was born in the 90s, but I would be older. So I would just have to say to see how different things are from then versus now with communication, because we know they had the cellular phones and the beepers and things, and just to see the fashion, like that nostalgia of everything come back to now 2021. So I would have to say the 90s. I could say the 80s because of the shoulder pads, the bright makeup and all of that, but yeah.
Yeah,
So I like the 90s. I would have to say the 90s.
I could tell because you guys said your age a little bit when you said beepers. A lot this generation don't know about beepers. So yeah, definitely, definitely. But you said something important. You said you'll be grown then. You'll be grown in the '90s. What would you be doing in the '90s as a grown up?
I would probably, because it was a lot of talk shows back then. So it would be some fierce competition. I mean, you had Ricky Lake, you had Mari, you had Sally, Montel. Like, the competition would be scarce
That is
back then
true.
with talk shows. So I mean, me coming up new on the scene, I would probably still be doing Style by Stevie, but it would just be because I mean, talk show after talk show. It would be a talk show after this slide, and then a talk show after this slide. It would be Ricky Lake, and then it would be Mari, and then it would be Sally, and then it would be Rolanda. Like it would be different ones.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. I can go on and over. Like I can ask 1,000 questions, but yeah.
All right, Fashion Dolls. I think that's it for the Turn the Table segment. Great questions. And again, this is my way to cut the velvet rope for my guests to come on here to get to know who I am as well as the new viewers. What is your power word and how do you utilize it? Great question.
Power word. Uh, oh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. What's a word I say every day that'd be like, um, my power word is believe. Believe.
Mm,
Because because and this, you know what's crazy? Oh my God. That's kind of like how if you look at it, what's going on today. Okay, how about this? If you believe something, nobody can tell you that you're wrong for really believing it. You know what I mean? It may be wrong morally, but who am I to? Because if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. So there between,
mm,
it's just like how you feel. I can't tell you how to feel. I can't take all my energy and pour it into you and say, Stevie, you need to feel like this. Just can't. It's impossible. Now I can take all my energy and influence you, but I can't change what you believe at the end of the day. You can touch and agree all you want, but if that ain't what you believe, then it is what it is. So I say it to say that I genuinely believe that it's nothing that we can't do. It's nothing that we can't do. You can be anything you want. It sounds kind of cliche, but in our culture growing up, where I grew up at, our neighborhood, we wasn't told that we could be anything. You know what I mean? We wasn't told it wasn't nothing we couldn't achieve. I didn't really hear the word achievement until freaking I went to college and pledged Kappa, so, and that's achievement in every field of human endeavor. That's the only time I really heard the word achieve. So, but the, if you can change your belief, watch, and for the good, and also unfortunately for the bad, watch how much your life will change. And when it comes to your belief, your vocabulary, it's certain words I don't even say. I don't use the word try. I don't use maybe. I don't use hope. I don't use hopefully. I don't use broke, especially when it comes to my finances, because we are what you put out, what you say holds weight. It holds weight. So change your beliefs for the good. If you believe you are the best at what you do, watch how many doors start, and you start to, and how I said earlier, start pouring into that pot, pouring into that seed. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. And the easiest thing is these are the smallest things. Start doing it I use it with parking spaces. This is how I started out. It's the law of attraction. Is basically with the law of attraction, I will go to a parking space, and before I even get to it, I say it out loud. I'd be like, I'm gonna give me a spot right in front of the door. I'm gonna give me a spot right in front of the door. Sure as behold, as soon as I turn that corner, there's a spot. Or guess what? Someone's backing out of it. It never failed. I encourage anybody to try it. But guess what? It's like going to the gym. The more and more you try those little small things, and the key to it is not saying it in your head. It's saying it out loud, how I'm audibly talking to you. And the most important part of it all is put a date on it. You put a date on it. Now you took the blindfold off, and now you have an official target of what you're aiming for. So
mm-hmm.
speak and believe what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and then pour into that seed, water that seed, and put a date on it. It's funny, and I don't want to be too long-winded on it, but and it's important because if you ever notice New Year's resolutions don't work. Oh, I'm a cigarettes, for example. My mom always say, I'm gonna stop smoking cigarettes. I'm gonna stop smoking cigarettes. I'm gonna stop at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna do this by the fall. You ever notice by the fall, by the beginning of the year, by the spring, by the summer, it holds no weight because there's no official date. But if I say,
Yeah.
and I use this for my homeboy, one of my frat, he said he was gonna, he said he wanted to move to Chicago. I said, man, I said, don't say want, say what you're going to do. I said, and this is a true story. I said, say, instead of saying I want to move to Chicago, I'm going to move to Chicago. And not only am I going to move to Chicago, get a realistic date that you're going to move by. He said, well, I'm moving to Chicago by no later than August 21st, 2015. This was in January of this is probably November of 2014. And he calls me that January, and I never forget it. He was like, man, I think I was at a day party at that. I picked up the phone at the day party anyway. But at a day party, he hit me up. He's like, yeah, bro, guess what? He says, man, you won't believe this. I just took a position in Chicago, and they're going to pay for my relocation. I said, that's crazy. I said, when are you moving by? Oh, man, I moved June 15th. I said, bro. I said, remember we just had this conversation probably like 2 months ago? And what did you say? He said, man, quit playing. I said I was going to be moving no later than August 21st, 2015. Here it is, June, 2 months before. He had just started applying at that time. So anyway, so fast forward, he ended up moving by June 2015, June 2015, at least 2 months in advance, and haven't looked back. So your words is everything. Put a date on it and just start to set the expectation to put yourself in the correct environment. Set the environment. So believe. Sorry, it's kind of a long-worded answer, but is this really like, it's just like, what's your favorite movie? I don't believe in a favorite movie because there's too many good movies out here. So anyway, so yeah, believe, and yeah, that's it. Sorry. That's a good question though.
And we got another question, but I just got breaking news, you guys. You guys remember the movie Goodfellas? Ray
Ray
Liotta,
Liotta.
yeah, just passed away at 67 years old. So my condolences go to his family. This is
Yeah,
key proof from this interview and the previous one that I did with Kizzy that you have to give people their flowers while they're here. So my heart
yeah,
sincerely goes to his family during this time. My heart goes to the families that have been affected in Texas. It's just heavy. It's a time. So if this platform can
yeah,
be an escape for you guys, I don't mind being an escape to just kind of get away from everything that's going on. But my heart goes to his family. So sincerely. And we have a question for you. What is a color you wear every day, and is there a reason behind that choice?
black. My favorite color is black. Um, because it's bold, it's strong, it's professional. It symbolizes not luxury, but gosh, I can't think of the word. But black is my favorite color because I don't know, I just like it. I love it a lot. Black. So probably my whole wardrobe, my closet right now, if I can take y'all serious, my closet right now is just probably black t-shirt, black jeans, black this, black that, black everything. So yeah.
That was a great question. Great question. Yes. And I just say this also, colors enhance your mood. So me, I like different colors. I love black too. It's slimming for my ladies. You know, we like to look slim and have that hourglass shit when we put on our black dresses and stuff. But it's something about that color black. And
Yeah.
I love them all. I love pink. I love blue, red. I love them all.
I
So
want to switch it up. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like nowadays everything's so colorful. I don't know if I can keep up with it. So you know what I mean? Because I be wanting to. Hold on. You know what? Purple and lime green. For some weird
what
reason, I got these Air Maxes, purple and lime green. They are literally my favorite. They kind of dang near go with everything. So I think that's probably like my other favorite color. Weird, but yeah, purple and lime.
thank you for answering all of my questions transparently. Yes.
No problem. I appreciate your answer. Definitely.
We are now coming to the end of this conversation, Pastor.
No.
It was such a great interview. So, before we conclude, what advice would you give to people who are looking or just giving up on hope? Because people need more hope more than anything. What advice would you give them?
Hope. I mean, she's in today's times. It's rough. I mean, it's rough, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say it's rough. It's challenging. We are definitely in a challenging period because again, I'm real big on what I say. So we're in a challenging phase in the world in general. from the climate, global warming, crazy storms all over the place. You know what I mean? Um, Obviously, the stuff that just taking place in Texas and Buffalo, and you know, just our culture when it comes to involving the police and things like that. It's inflation. Oh my God. Um, yeah, it's just it's tough, but the best thing I can say, and it kind of goes back to Liz's power word, and that's believe. As long as you believe that, and just really believe that it's not the this isn't it. This ain't it. This ain't the final say so. It may be what's maybe it may be what maybe it may be what's kind of going on right now at this moment currently, but it's not it. And as long as you believe and just stay on your course, man, and just surround yourself around good people, positive energy. Watch comedies. Turn the TV off. If you don't watch the news, I tell you that. Turn the news off. I haven't watched the news in probably, what is this, 2022? I probably haven't watched the news in over 10 years, 12 years in real life. Unless it pops up on my news feed, I wouldn't know it. But just really change your lens and what you're looking at, and just really believe that this ain't it. And it's always light at the end of the tunnel. So hang in there. Trust me, you talking to somebody, I went through that dark pit. I don't think it could have got any darker than what I've been through. So I know if I can do it, you know what I mean, you can do it too. So trust me.
Absolutely. And I agree with what Liz just said. There's still time to stand together in unity and love, and people need that more than ever.
Yeah.
Again, my heart
Yes.
goes to the family who've been affected in Buffalo and Texas. Again, this she just said something also. America is crying. The earth is crying. Yeah. And that's why I think we've been getting so much rain lately, because God is crying.
Yeah.
And there's another question for you. Do you like the city or the countryside?
Countryside. I'm a city boy, but it's something about that countryside, middle of, you know, it's funny. I can I could live on a homestead. I can live in the middle of nowhere. And as long as I can grow some plants, I don't think I can, butcher some animals. But as long as I can grow some plants quick enough, I'll be good. So countryside all day. It's quiet, peaceful. It's just I'm at home.
All right. Fashion dolls, and we're now at the end of our interview. So let everyone know where they can follow you if you have any projects coming up.
Yeah. Obviously, follow me. Just click the follow button where it says Rockmeyer Devon. Check us out on Tubi, Silk White Productions. I just want to definitely send a shout out to my guy Silk White, who definitely took a chance on your boy and put me in a few of his films, and then got me behind the camera and gave me a shot, and we haven't looked back. Look on Tubi. We got the Transporter. Transporter 2 is coming out. We're going to start filming season 2 of that in July. We got another show. This is going to be the one. It's called Black Excellence. I'm one of the leading guys in. We're going to be releasing that this summer. As well, I'm thinking around July, August-ish. We should be doing a red carpet, so I definitely put the invite out to you, Stevie, to come through. It'll be here in Atlanta. So we could definitely do a red carpet most likely and things like that. So Tubi, check out anything Silk White, W-H-I-T, like the color. You can type it in on Tubi and all of the films pop up. So those were all of our projects right now. And also check out Behind Closed Doors. Super good movie. Anyway, yeah, just check that out for sure.
All right, Fashion Dolls, all on Tubi. Make sure you guys please go and check it out. Remember what Rockmeyer and Kizzy, as well as myself, said. If you need to take a break and unplug, definitely do so. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourself. Please stay safe. It's Memorial Day weekend. Um, no show tomorrow, you guys. I will see you guys Saturday. We have Ozzy Carnan. He will be joining us. And then next week, we have our guy and some amazing guests. And June, I'm going to announce it here. We have a supermodel coming in the building. This woman has walked the catwalks alongside Cindy Crawford, Lindy Evangelista, and Naomi Campbell. So you guys have to stay tuned in June to find out who she is. I love you all. Please take care of yourself, stay safe, and more importantly, prayers up to Houston and New York as well too. Prayers for the world all over. Uplift each other and take care. Thank you so much, Rockmeyer. definitely got to do it again in the future.
For sure, definitely. Definitely. Appreciate you having me.
You're so welcome. Take care, everyone.